So let us continue with the inverse proportion. Uh, a person has money to buy 25 cycles worth rupees 500. What he's saying is a person has a money to buy 25 cycles worth rupees 500 each. Means he can purchase 25 cycles. Each cycle cost is 500. How many cycles he will be able to buy if each cycle is costing 125 more? Each cycle is costing 125 more. So number of cycles. How many cycles are there? 25. What is the cost of each cycle? Rupees 500. Now, how many cycles he will be able to purchase by if each cycle costing rupees 125 more? Now, cost is rupees 125 more. That is, what is the cost now? From 500 it has increased to 125. So 625. Now that is 625. That is now rupees 125 more because 500, from 500 it has increased to 125. That is, he has now number of now each cycle cost is, therefore now each cycle cost is equal to rupees 625. Now how will you do? Now he is asking, if the cost is rupees 625, how many cycles he can purchase? For 500 rupees each cycle he can purchase 25 cycles. For rupees, if the cost is increased from 500 to 625, how many cycles he can purchase? So here just draw a rough diagram. Next, here cycles, here cost. Now 25 cycles he can buy as 500. Now 625 rupees, how much? Now tell me now, cost is increased from 500 to 625. If the cost is increases, then obviously we will purchase less cycle. He will purchase more cycle. So that means from 500 to 625 the cost is increased. So obviously he will purchase less cycles because the cost is increased. So therefore ratio of cycles is equal to inverse ratio of cost. What is the meaning of inverse ratio of cost? Because from 500 to 625, if cost is increasing, therefore he will purchase less cycles. Ratio of cycles is 25:x is equal to inverse ratio of cost. Inverse, take the inverse ratio, don't take direct. Inverse, that means 625 is to 500. Next, product of means is equal to product of extremes. 25 into 500 is equal to x into 625. So 25 into 500 by this you remain as it is, this you bring it here. 25 ones are 25, 25 is 625. You should remember 25 2s are 50, 0. That means 20. Now see here, as the cost is increasing, so he will purchase less cycles. This is how you should do the problem. Once again, number of cycles 25, cost of each cycle 500. Now the cost is increased, so 125, so it is 625. Just write this. If the cost is increases, he will purchase less cycles. Obviously, if you are going to the shop, if the book is something say extra, if the book cost price is more, if the cost is more of the book, then you will purchase less books, no? So in the same way here also same thing. inverse ratio of the cost. So you should do like this, you will get the answer. Now how many cycles he will be able to buy? So he will be able to buy 20 cycles because the cost is increasing. Earlier the cost is 500, so he could purchase 25 cycles of each. This one cost each, you can put it as bracket. Next, another question. Raghu has enough money to buy 75 machine worth rupees 200 each. This is also same type. Raghu has enough money to buy 75 machines worth rupees 200. He can purchase 75 machine worth rupees 200 each. 200 for 200 rupees each, he can buy 75 machines. How many machines he can buy if he gets discount of rupees 50 on each machine? Next, follow the same steps, follow the same rule here. Raghu has enough money to buy 75 machine worth rupees 200 each. Cost of 75 machines is rupees 200 each. Don't forget to write each. Each is nothing but 200 rupees each. 75 machines, cost of 75 machines is rupees 200 each. Next, how many machines he can buy if he gets a discount of 50? Discount 50. So that means now, therefore, now cost of each machine, discount means what? Less price. So 200 minus 50, that is nothing but rupees 150. You can write here each. Next, make the box here. Just to understand this, what is the meaning of this? Nothing to do with this problem. Just to understand here, what is given? Machine. Here, cost. How many machines are there? 75. What is the cost of each machine? Each. Now the cost is 150. Right here, X. So what you will do with this? What is the meaning of this? Now cost is for 200 rupees you can purchase 75. Now 150 rupees. Now you have, now the cost is reduced, so you can purchase more machines now. Obviously the cost is less, you can purchase more machines. If the cost is more, the cost is 200, this the cost is 150, you can purchase more. So ratio of, see this one, ratio of machines is equal to inverse ratio of, inverse ratio. Why we have to use this word inverse? Because for 150 you can purchase more. As the cost is reduced, you can purchase more. Inverse ratio of cost. What is the meaning of this? Meaning, you can underline here, cost is reduced. Cost is reduced, we can purchase more machines. That is the meaning. Cost is reduced, we can purchase, reduced, we can purchase more. Reduce, increase, decrease. So inverse ratio of cost, you are already written. Ratio of machines 75 is to X is equal to inverse. We have written inverse ratio of cost, we have written 150 is to 200. So 75 into product of means product of exchange. 75 into 200 is equal to X into 150. 75 into 200. This don't change this, keep it as it is by 150, and the other one only you should divide. So x is equal to 75 1 the 75 2 the 2 1 the 200 100. See here now, for 150 you are purchasing 100 machines. So from 75 it is increased now. Earlier it was 200, price is 275. Now price is decreased, you are purchasing more cycles. That's how you should do the inverse problems. I think the other all problems which we have discussed earlier, you can apply this method. Ratio of machines, inverse ratio of cost, like that. Next, one last problem. "200 soldiers in a fort had enough food for 28 days. After 4 days, some soldiers were transferred to another fort and the food lasted for 32 more days. How many soldiers left the fort?" This I think we can do in the next class. But I am going to explain the other problems which we have done in unitary method. Now we will do in this method. Okay, let me finish first. Let me complete this one. 1,200 soldiers in a fort had enough food for 28 days. So how will we do this one? 1,200 soldiers had food for 28 days. After 4 days, some soldiers were transferred and the food lasted for 34 more days. So let me write this solution. 1,200 men, soldiers, had enough food for 28 days. (1,200 soldiers had enough food for 28 days. Now after 4 days means what the meaning? After 4 days some soldiers were transferred and thus the food lasted for 32 more days. Clearly here after 4 days means 28 days is there. After 4 days means now how many days will be left over? After 4 days, total 28 days are there. After 4 days will be remaining days are how many? 24. Because 4 days are passed, so remaining days are 24. Now, and thus the food lasts for 32 more days. Clearly, now if some, what you can say, if the days are decreased from 28 to now 4 days are already passed, so 24 days are there. So that means you can eat more number of soldiers can be joined. How many soldiers? Here the question is how many soldiers left the fort? Here 12 soldiers had enough food for 20 after 4 days. After 4 days means number of days food available. (28). 1,200 soldiers had enough food for 28. After 4 days, after 4 days means number of days available is 28 minus 4, that is 24. Now how many, he is asking how many soldiers left the fort and the food lasted for 32 more days. Now food lasted is equal to 32 more days. Just prepare here one box. Here write down soldiers. Here write down days. Now here what is given? 1,200 soldiers. 200 soldiers are there. Now after 4 days, now the number of days remaining are 24. Now what is given? How many soldiers were transferred to another fort if the fort, and thus the food lasted for 34. Some soldiers were transferred. So there some soldiers were transferring means they can eat for more number of days. No food available will be more. Say for example in your family 10 members are there. In your family 10 members are there. So 5 members they went for party. 5 members they went for party. So you can eat for more number of days. No. Once again I will explain. In your family there are 10 members are there. 5 members food is available for 10 members, but 5 members went for a party. So only 5 members remaining. That means you can eat more. So here also the days are 32. Now the food lasted for 32 more days. They are eating for no more number of days. So here it is X. Why I have written 32 here? 32 is here some soldiers were transferred and the food lasting for 32 more days. So that's why I have written here in place of days 32. So ratio of soldiers is equal to inverse ratio of days. Ratio of soldiers is 1200 is to X is equal to 20 inverse ratio. 32 is to 24. Why you have to take inverse ratio? As the days are what you say 24 to 32 have increased. So number of soldiers will be, days have increased. So days are increased means number of soldiers will be less. So that is the meaning of inverse ratio. Days from 24 to 32. Now let us calculate. (1200 into 24 is equal to X into 32. This one remain as it is. The other one only you should add. 12 2s are 20, or 8 3s are 24, 8 4s are 32. 8 3s are 24, 8 4s are 4 3s are 12. 900. See here, days are increased from 24 to 32. Number of soldiers will be less. Here inverse ratio of days. You can write here as the days have increased. Days will, if the days are increasing, so less soldiers will be there. Because less soldiers they can eat. What is the meaning of this is, as the days have increased, they can eat for, or they have less soldiers. So earlier they were 1200. Original soldiers are 200. Now 900 soldiers. So remaining, how many were transferred? How many were transferred? Earlier 200 were there, now 900 is there. Transferred. 300 men were transferred. So that's why the food is available. The food is lasting for 32 days. Out of 1200, 24 days. Now 900 men out of 900 we got. 1200 minus 900 is 300. 300 soldiers were transferred. So that's why the food is lasting for more number of days. Did you understand, the children? First 200 soldiers had enough food for 28 days. After 4 days means what is the meaning? That is continuing, but after 4 days, number of days remaining, 28 minus 4, that is 24. Now food lasted is 32 more days. Obviously, if some soldiers were transferred, so they can eat for more number of days, no? So 32. Simple logic. Earlier 24 days were there, now 32 soldiers were there. So if some soldiers were transferred, means some in your family, let us take, once again I am explaining, just take an example. In your family 20 members are there and you are eating you have nice dinner on the night, but suddenly a party came and therefore 5 were transferred. Out of 20, 5 were transferred. So now how many remaining? 15. So you can eat more number of days. No, here also. For now 24 is there, 32. So that's what, that is the meaning of inverse ratio from 24 to 32. Inverse ratio means as the days have increased, you will get less soldiers. So I calculated, I got 200 soldiers. See here, 32 days. Now food is available for only 900 soldiers because days are increasing. So now how many soldiers are there? 900. 300. So with this, inverse proportion are completed, one textbook. Thank you students. Have a nice day. Bye.